Hello, hello, hello. How is it going? And do you like sailing on the high seas? Well, you're in luck because there is a new Black Flag remake coming out. Yes, if you didn't already pay attention to all of the rumors and leaks, it's coming out. It's basically the gaming's biggest open secret at this point. There's been a lot of news about it. First, most important from Tom Henderson, who's been leaking everything, and he's almost always right. He says it's supposed to be coming out at the end of spring 2026. Spring 2026. At the end of the fiscal year. The voice actor for the game has said that you should pay attention to Black Flag, and you might be hearing some news. And even some employees have started putting it on their LinkedIn page. Also, fun fact, Ubisoft also just changed the logo to the pirate logo on their YouTube page, so that too. Everyone knows it's coming out. It's just a matter of when. And this is a really strange remake to make because usually if you're gonna do a remake, you want to do a remake of like the oldest one. You want to do something of like really old and it needs to be brought back in time. I hope that they're doing the Black Flag remake because they think they can do it better. They think they can make the best pirate game ever. They think they can improve upon it. Unfortunately, the reality is the reason they're doing this remake is that Skull and Bones lost a lot of money. They spent quadruple level A money on the game, and that game did not return a profit at all. So they need to make something. They need to do something with all the assets. So they're just remaking Black Flag, which is an easy way for them to do a remake, I guess. But it's not out of passion. It's more of obligation to money, really. That's the biggest obligation. But it is the best-selling Assassin's Creed. It's the most well-liked. It's the most one everyone kind of keeps talking about. It's the one everyone goes back to, and also, more importantly, the one I love. The one I played it multiple times. The one I play almost like every few years because it's just such a good, one-of-a-kind experience. There really is no game quite out there like it. There aren't a lot of pirate games out there. There aren't a lot of sea ship games out there. It really is the best pirate fantasy ever. And also, it's still a really good Assassin's Creed game. Some Assassin's Creed fans will be like, it's not really real Assassin's Creed in the game. Not really. There's still a lot of stealth. There's still a lot of assassination missions. There's still a lot of tailing missions, which hey, I actually like tailing missions of Black Flag. Don't sue me or anything, but yeah, I like tailing. It's still very much like an Assassin's Creed game. It just has a bit more ships and stuff, which is also a plus. So I think this is gonna sell well. And I think a big reason why they're not talking about it much and not marketing up is because they want to do like a shadow drop. I think after they saw the success of the Oblivion remake and basically how that was shadow drop within a week, they're like, ooh, maybe we can do this and not have to market it so much. They can save money on marketing, which is a little strange for Ubisoft because usually they have big marketing cycles. And also, a big marketing cycle doesn't take time for Ubisoft to have players to critique little things here. It'd be like, oh, we got this wrong. Oh, we got this wrong. Oh, wait a minute. You got the emblem wrong from the random Japanese company. We're gonna make you pay. Yeah, the Shadows marketing cycle it didn't go the best. So a shadow drop should kind of alleviate that if people just hey, here's the game, and it's players won't have time to criticize it. So I want to talk to you about it. I want to talk to you about what I want to see, what I hope we see, what we're probably going to get. So I think based on the small amount of rumors we already see, it's going to be more of a remaster with up-to-date graphics, as in it's going to be just the Shadows graphics, but as it's going to be the same gameplay with Shadows graphics. And there's already some details coming out of the game. We'll go through them. So the remake removes the modern day and replaces them with more content in Ira's pirate era. Honestly, a plus. I know some people are kind of iffy on this. I like the modern day in the original, but I'm not gonna die on the hill saying it needs to be back in the game because at the end of the day, no one plays Assassin's Creed games for the modern day. We did before Desmond died, and there was a point to it all, and the game was basically teasing a modern day full-on game, but that never happened. So at this point, I don't think modern day should be much in Assassin's Creed. I think they've kind of lost interest in doing that. So I'm okay with them removing it. Gameplay will shift closer to the RPG style of newer AC games. Now, this is something that's really big in particular. So my dream AC Black Flag remake would basically be somewhere between like a cross of the RPG side content of like Odyssey and Origins and like kind of the gameplay of the older games, right? Like I think one of the things that was like missing in Black Flag after playing like the newer games is that they just needed to be more like side quests and side content. Like all we got were their Templar assassination missions, and those were really good. But if you ever noticed, those were only on an island. They weren't really like land to sea to ship combat. It was always like contained on the island, which I think is really one of the biggest weakest points about Black Flag was that I think due to the technology at the time, they had to have like loading screens whenever you got on the island to like the sea, and I think they can remove that and like add more like sea to land missions if that's possible. Now, I think by the RPG style of newer games that they're going to make the combat a lot more, and that's actually the next thing, is that they're going to make gameplay will shift closer to the RPG style of newer AC games. Alright, this one I don't like so much. I actually like the older Assassin's Creed combat, especially when it comes to like Black Flag and just like the nature of that game. So I always believe that Assassin's Creed, not all of them, I don't like dislike the newer one, but I just prefer it in the one because remake. So in the original Assassin's Creed, the vision was kind of like fast and fluid and stealthy, going from like platforming to parkouring to assassinating and then just doing maybe a little combat and getting out of the scene, because that's what Assassins should be. Going to the RPG style only really fit in like Egypt and Odyssey and Valhalla, because those games you weren't really an assassin, you weren't really supposed to be stealthy. A lot of them you were just proto assassins, and like it made sense for those kind of characters to be like fully fledged out combat. I think that's gonna, in my opinion, if they go with the newer RPG style, it will kind of make it feel like it will just lose the sense of flow where you like are climbing on a boat ship, you're overlooking someone, and then you try to assassinate. Like, can you even do that in the newer game? Do I have to have like a hitbox for every single enemy? I really do appreciate the counter kill combat of the older games. It was easy and it was pretty mindless, but that's okay. Like, it's not like it should be super difficult. I always felt like Assassin's Creed has always been kind of like a very easy game naturally, so that I'm not a fan of. There will be loot and gear stats for Edward. That's fine. There were already gear stats in the original game. No loading screens when moving from island to ship. Now, this is something that I always like kind of postured, and like I can tell from like the original game was that there was actually very little like land to ship to land again missions, which would have been so perfect. Like, did you guys notice that like all of the naval missions were like going to a ship and then killing someone on that ship, or all of the assassin missions were on the same island? Very few of them. I actually don't think there is a single one in the game that kind of went from like land to ship. I think maybe like one or two, and I think that's basically the limitation of the 360 and the PS3, because it just couldn't handle like the RAM probably was too small of a size. So I struggled with loading both those that come at the same time. So that's something I really hope that they add, because it would have been really cool. Like, I know there was a demo about before the game came out, like a E3 or something, where like the director was showing them like a mission that was actually you were on an island, and then you ended up ending at the sea, which I think they have to add more of in the new game. Map is not bigger, but islands will be filled with more activities and side content. So this is something that's actually hopefully good. By side content, I'm really hoping they add more things like the side quests in Origins and Odyssey. I think those side quests and side content was fantastic. Like the stories we got in Odyssey and Origins were probably the best in Assassin's Creed stories in terms of side content. Even Shadows, the new one, that was really weak, which is so shocking because I expected it to be better. I'm really upset by Shadows' side content because it didn't come close to Odyssey or Origins. Expect to include content from the original, like parts of Mirror Piece, or then they're dropped from 2023. Good, more game. It's more. It's not on the same big budget remake as RE2 and Silent Hill 2, and more of a faithful reimagining. And now we're basically getting to it. So it's basically just going to be a remaster, excuse me, with the prettier graphics. If you don't know a title for a game, I was just kind of already late. It's going to be called Resynced, which sounds kind of cool. So apparently the game, how it's going to be presented to you, is that you're actually playing as an updated version in the modern day. Like apparently the game is a Templar or is an Abstergo recreation of Black Flag. Because in the original game, you were basically like as an employee going through the memories of an older ancestor who happened to be a pirate. While in this one, they're gonna present it as, oh, Abstergo Presentations would like to present to you the adventures of Black Flag with some new modern touches. So I think technically it's on brand and technically it's still a modern day, but you're just the player. That's how it's going to be my market, which sounds pretty cool, although pretty kind of weak, like unnecessary. Like we just want a pirate game. I'm not really into all this mumbo jumbo. I think it's a little silly. Targeted for 2026, though some sources said it could slip to late 2026. They were using some assets from Skull and Bones to cut costs, but it won't be obvious to players. And with all that out of the way, now I want to talk to you about like what I want to see, what I would have done if I was in charge of the Black Flag remake. And the biggest thing I would have done is just added more like significant content, like the side content from Origins and Black Flag, the side quest that kind of meaningfully added more of the story. Like I remember like playing as a Odyssey and going to an island, discovering like some village was torn down, and then some random tribes ended up taking over, making herself queen on the island. That would have been really cool to get a side quest like that. I also want to see something like maybe like the mercenary system from Odyssey. Maybe like ships could have their own levels and maybe own special abilities. And maybe let's say you take out let's say you take down a ship, you can be added to your own fleet, and then maybe your fleet, and then you can have battles with maybe enemy fleets. Wouldn't that be super cool? We never really got that in Black Flag. It was always one-on-one or one versus many. The thing that came closer was Origins, and like they were scripted ship combat. I also want to see more weather systems, right? Like I want to see like an ability where you can cause like a storm. I know that's a little far-fetched, but causing a storm from some like Apple of Eden ability would be super cool. Like let's say you can cause a tornado or something. Or maybe an enemy can cause a tornado. Like the closest we got to it was like an Assassin's Creed Rogue, where if you like broke down these icicle mountains, it would cause a wave, and then that can enemies can take damage from it. And maybe in this game, I know there's no snow or ice in this game, but maybe you can destroy islands, and then those islands can cause waves, and ships can take damage. So, can you also fix the ability for us to not be able to ram ships until we taken out all the legendary ships? It was always very weird to me why like you couldn't actually like get like a speed boost or ram ability until you've taken out all the hardest ships, which at that point you had no reason to use it because you were already powerful. That was always weird. Also, you can add like a flamethrower to the ship. That was not that was really cool. And then you can add like there was like a machine gun ability in Rogue, which really wasn't which was in that game, but not in Black Flag. You can add like maybe ship stealth missions where let's say a particular country, let's say Spain or Portugal, has a foothold on this area. Maybe if you take out a certain ship, you can steal their flag, and then maybe you do some like stealth missions. That was already in the main game, but yeah. I also hope that since it's for a remake and Ubisoft's facial animations technology has been really lackluster lately, that they really get their asses together and start having proper facial animations. Shadows really did suffer from having very stoic facial animations, and I don't know why. I don't know how they've gotten worse at that, because they've kind of mastered them. Unity looked great, Origins looked great. Ever since Odyssey, I didn't play much Valhalla, but ever since Odyssey, their facial animations have just gotten worse. Like they've been automating them. They've been kind of just this looks worse. I don't know why they moved away from motion capture. It seems like they only do it for certain cutscenes and not like the whole game, where it's just a obviously downgrade. I don't know why they're doing this. Maybe technology's gone harder, but it doesn't every studio have a motion capture scene at this point? A motion capture room for all their scenes. It's really strange how that's been going down, but yeah. Anyway, that's kind of all I want to talk about. I hope it turns out well. I'll probably talk to you more about it. I'm probably going to play some more and kind of get a feeling for the remake. So, yeah, I could talk about this